Good. Good. Good.
Cat?
I mean, that's a good cat.
He's very flat today.
He's a very flat
Very flat cat.
animal. Hi, everybody.
Are you flat?
Good morning. Haley, don't tell me to go to bed. I just got out of the bed. Right in time to enjoy this snack.
From our Montana streams to your doorstep, Tiny Eddie's bite-sized cat crust circle.
Oh no.
It's a cat crust circle.
Is he crusty?
He flat? He round?
Sometimes you get some of the eye crust. We got 1,000 bits from Kirdalia. Says, today is my birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
What will Tiny Eddie make for me to celebrate? Bite-sized cat crust circle. You know what this kind of reminds me of? It's bite-sized. It's cat. The crust circle part's a little difficult. It makes me think of like an animal cracker. Those are bite-sized, depending on how big the animal cracker is and how big your mouth is. Most crackers are bite-sized to Stephen George.
Kepler is not bite-sized. He's actually quite large.
It would take many bites.
He's a big cat.
Pizza, bagels, meat, animal crackers. Man, it's been a long time since I had a pizza bagel. What's the brand name? Bagel Bites. Like, I haven't had one of those in forever. But
I always liked the French bread pizza.
Oh, yeah, I used to get those in college. I haven't had Bagel Bites in forever, but we saw a pack at Costco, and I had the thought of like, Bagel Bites, but I do not need 100. I think it'd be kind of fun to get some again, but I
100.
But I'll need like 100. But I do need 100 of whatever this is.
You'll grumble with collectability when eating Tiny Eddie's orchard-grown squash sliders.
Squash sliders.
But
That
they're
doesn't sound
orchard grown.
discerning. 1050 from an East who says, hey Eddie, life's pretty good right now. How about a happy snack? I agree with you. I've been in like a really good mood in the past like 2 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's have a happy snack. That's squash sliders, which I assume would just be like a normal slider, but instead of there being like a hamburger patty of some sort, it's squash, which you could do.
You could do.
I think that'd be... Maybe fry it.
Maybe.
Maybe add a little extra there. But I think that would work.
You're stuck.
And Denise, I'm glad that things are going well for you right now. Happy to hear that. Does the happiness include the Golden Crow experience? I want everyone to know that I did not have a single intestinal problem from that.
See, I feel like my stomach's still a bit messed up.
I did not have any weird problems. And in fact, I was telling Brandon this yesterday. I was like, my issues are actually better than they normally are. I was like, well, maybe I just needed some variety in my diet. And by variety, I mean like...
Haley says, me either. We are gods. Can't wait to go back with you.
I mean, like, I would rather go get Thai with Haley to try Thai food. I don't really need to try the Golden Corral pizza again. God help me. But, like, I did not have any intestinal distress over it. Like, none. Like, my stomach never hurt. I never had weird bowel movements. None of that. Like, it was just fine. So, but how else do we trauma bond? Okay, we can go back to Golden Corral as a treat. For a little trauma. Just a little bit. But I'm gonna eat mostly fried food. That's the secret. It's true. If I want a trauma bond, I can just go somewhere with you and eat corn. That will be traumatic. I didn't eat corn at Golden Corral. If I would have eaten corn, that would have been bad. And they had corn.
They had corn.
They had corn on the cob. And I told myself, I was like, Steven, I know that you want to try everything, but don't try the thing that you know will make you sick. And I was like, good. Coward. We had 18 months from Brian X, 88, 31 months from the Viking Hippie, 59 from Cobalt Custard, 32 from Shiny Hunter John, 151. Bless you. Fierce Kitty gifted a few subs to Mr. Deathkill's Yamadorgon and Radio Scotty. Thank you. It's very kind. 41 months from A Person Dude 1, 32 from GA Studios, 42 from Shanath, 34 from Quill in the Stars. We got 300 bits from Lugia 6. Hey, could use some good vibes today. Went to the doctor yesterday with a sore eye and I have conjunctivitis. Woke up this morning and could hardly open my very swollen left eye. Good vibes.
Yeah.
Good vibes. I've known two or three people that have had conjunctivitis. Wishing you well. A speedy recovery. And I hope that doesn't bother you for too terribly long. 9 months from Digit K. 19 months from Svandera. 18 from Domo Arigato 137. Sorry, I'm lining something up right here. 40 months from Queer Quest. 49 months from Destiny Light 2. Sorry, I wanted to line up the claps. 48 months from Xena Fantasies. That's a 4. 24 months from Airs D57. That's a 2. And 36 months from Stoop Kid 241. That's a 3. I like to get all my claps in. Clapped.
You got a haircut.
I was wondering, I wasn't paying super close attention to chat right at the beginning. Did anyone notice? Did anyone notice I got a haircut? Sometimes it might be hard to tell because I'm in front of the games. I love to get the clap. Yeah. Which one? This one? Yeah, I thought you just combed it. Stephen George does not comb. No, I did get a haircut yesterday. It's cut on this side, and then on this side, and like some up here, just a little bit.
But the back.
Did they cut the back? Yes, they did. Yeah, it's good because when your hair gets long, your head gets hot. Sure.
Yes. Please explain to me the person with longer hair.
Well, your hair is longer, but my hair is thicker.
That's true.
And like you get a warm, but the feeling. It's been a while since I've had hair on my neck. Mm-hmm. That was hot when I had it. So I'm assuming that when you're outside is like no.
Nah.
Having like thick hair is.
Yeah, mine is anything but that.
We have different hair type. There's like a system.
Yeah, there's a whole system.
I don't know. Like
it's
you
numbers
can,
and then ABC.
Yeah, it's like you can be B2 or A1 or something. I've looked at it before and I went neat, and then I did not commit any of that to memory. But it does exist. We got 2 months from Alex Other 07. Appreciate it. And 17 months from Sombra Noir. Thanks, y'all. So in our last breakfast stream, mm-hmm. Brandon was here mm-hmm. to recount his personal, spiritual journey with Golden Corral. Mm-hmm. So that happened on Monday. And since then, 2 things happened. On Tuesday night, we did Josh stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't listened to Disc Only. I hope Disc Only was good. I presume it absolutely was because Sab was there, and Sab is great. But I watched my grandson play Earthbound. Because that was important. Actually, so this week, I couldn't have possibly done Disc Only there's been too many things going on in the evenings. Like, I just couldn't have done it. Like, because normally what would because I want to watch Josh play Earthbound, that's true. But in any other week, I could have at least rescheduled something in my week to have made room for disc only. And, like, this week I could not do it. And I didn't want to bother trying to reschedule disc only again. And I was like, just do the show, it's fine. And if we do the show, then we get an opportunity to have guests on, which I think is fine.
Yeah, it's a nice little change.
So, like, next month, when there's not 10 things happening in the week, I'll make sure Josh changes his Earthbound stream to a Wednesday, and then I'll be on the show. But this week it was impossible. It was not something I could do.
Yeah, 6 of us watched.
We watched, yeah. So Josh's girlfriend, Rebecca Forsmanish, is visiting, and she has been aware that we have been watching Josh play Earthbound. Like, me and Mao and Alex and Haley have been getting together every week to just watch. So she's like, I want to join y'all. And I was like, do it. And then Brandon was also available. So we had all 6 of us, and we sat and watched him play. It's honestly, yeah, you provided fun facts, all right. A lot of specialty facts maybe not found anywhere else about Earthbound. It's been very fun. I love watching people experience that game for the first time. I think everyone probably enjoys getting a chance to watch someone play their favorite game for the first time. Just to experience briefly what it's like to play a game for the first time again. Because, like, especially with an RPG, like, once you've played it, right? Like, you know what's going on. So getting a chance to watch someone else play it and just excitedly be like, how are they going to react to this thing? Oh, that's exactly what I thought. Like, that's just very, very fun. It's been particularly fun watching Josh, because Josh is bad at RPGs and doesn't have a whole lot of...
He did really good on Tuesday.
He did really good. It's taken like 5 or 6 weeks.
Like, saving and healing.
He had some deep thinks.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, sometimes when you're playing the RPG, like, there's some strategy involved with, like, you know, thinking ahead and what's going to happen. And, like, I watched some of that happen on Tuesday in a big way, and I was like... Yeah, Haley says, our boy learned to heal outside of battle. He did. He did. And there was a time where, like Jeff wasn't doing much damage, and he was like, I should defend as Jeff. And I'm like, that's totally good. That's reasonable. He's using Spy.
Yeah.
It's great. He hasn't used Prey, which is fine. But there was at least one point in the stream where I was like,
this is an opportunity.
This is a good opportunity to pray. And it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But he'll get there. He's doing great.
Could you hand me my coffee?
Yeah, you seem to be
weighted down.
Weighted down.
Yeah. I got 15 pounds of cat on me.
He's a cute one. Anyway, we got 2 months from E295, 38 months from Shorewolf. We get 500 bits from Kirdelia, who says, this Monday I'll be making a 2-hour drive to attend my girlfriend's father's funeral on Tuesday. It will be the longest drive I've made by myself and my first time staying in a hotel by myself. Well, first off, my condolences.
Yeah.
To your girlfriend's dad. But then, second to that, good luck, good vibes with the drive. I'm trying to remember... I mean, I know the longest drive I've made, but I'm trying to remember the first time I stayed in a hotel by myself.
Like, all by yourself?
I have no idea.
All by yourself? Like, all alone?
All alone?
Maybe when you went to play Far Cry.
I was about to say when I was in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe. Because I probably didn't have a reason to be by myself.
Otherwise.
But the first time staying in a hotel, like, where I got the hotel room would have been earlier than that, but I don't know what for. Maybe with you? When
We went to Savannah one of the first times I visited you.
Yeah. I mean, I also, like, I remember me and Dan and Taylor and Alex going to Myrtle Beach in college, but I probably would have had a hotel even before that, so I don't know. It's been a long time. The longest drive is any time I've been to visit Mouse Family. The longest drive I think I've ever done in one day was from here to Muncie, actually.
Yeah.
Here to Muncie, I've done that more than once, and that's a drive.
Mm-hmm.
That's a drive. Like Myrtle Beach to Muncie is like, with stops to pee and eat, is like 12 hours, maybe
Morning,
13. Sab, we were just talking about you.
Jam, when we first met in person, Steven stayed with me.
Yeah, but there were times where you were visiting Myrtle Beach where we made trips out to like Charleston and Savannah and things like that. So,
Josh,
yeah.
24. Josh.
Yeah, Josh. That was that was a choice. I remember that very vividly. I was very concerned about Josh, and it was to give a little like context for the story. Josh, for E3 2016, 2015 or 2016, 2016, I think.
Are we all concerned about Josh? Yeah.
For E3 2016, Josh made the drive from Seattle down to California, and stayed with us and Alex and Haley at least one night. He was also staying with some other people. Zelda people? I
think it was Zelda people.
Zelda people. I don't know. There's a lot of different Zelda people.
Josh knows a lot of people.
He knows a lot of Zelda people.
Yeah.
He really does. I don't know which one. There's like some. Anyway. Yeah, he made that drive in a day. So it's like 24 hours. And that's like a lot. It's a lot of driving.
Josh, we were just talking about Tuesday night.
And I told him, because he was there and we did stuff. It was it 2015? Maybe it's anyway. We went to E3 together. We went to Disneyland together, which was very, very fun. Thanks, Disney Daddy. And then he was like on his way back, and I told him, I was like, hey, you're gonna be more tired on the way back than you were coming in, so like, please rest.
Wasn't he also sick?
Yes, he got super sick. Josh says Disney Daddy. Maker was Disney Daddy. We both had a Disney Daddy, Josh, and they took us to Disneyland, and it was great.
So glad that Disney Daddy took you to Disney.
I mean, that's what happened. It was that I didn't really have any qualms like being with Maker at all.
Yeah.
Like, I really didn't. But like, of everything, that was probably single-handedly the coolest thing that happened. I was like, that was neat. Remember we were with all those people, and we were me, you, and Josh were there, and we were like talking to people like, what's your YouTube channel? What do you do? And they're like, oh, I'm a Vine star. And I'm like, that was a real thing that a human being said to me. And I was like, not only does that date this story because it's Vine, but then also referring to oneself as a star is like, I don't know, man. That's a level of narcissism that is very rarely found. Just a wild thing. I'm like, good luck with that. Anyway, I wonder how many of those people are still doing
Content? I don't know.
because like eventually they like Vine was just early, right? Vine was early TikTok in a way. It's not exactly the same platform, but it's remarkably similar. And I'm curious if any of those people managed to hold on to that level of success into the transition, because there was a break. I feel like we had Vine, and then eventually there's TikTok and YouTube Shorts, but I feel like there was a weird zone in the middle where like there was nothing like that, and wonder if they survived. I don't know. Anyway, Disney Daddy, 33 months from Paranight, 22 from Kennedy KJK 2016. Omega this kid gifted a sub to Sabarine. Thank you. We got 300 bits from Ampersand Queen. Says, good morning, everyone. Just wanted to ask for good vibes, if that's okay. We had to put down one of the family dogs this week, and it's been real hard. Worried about the other dog since he was so close to her. Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Good vibes. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously extremely difficult in and of itself, but yes, when you have another pet, you worry about that. I mean, that was one of our biggest concerns after we lost Sagan, was like, how would Kepler react and respond? One of the interesting things, though, about that very particular situation is that you do get to see the other pet change in some ways. Like Kepler is Kepler, but Kepler also is a bit of a different cat than he was when Sagan was around. Like his personality is actually different. He kind of came more into his own. I mean, of the two, Sagan was definitely kind of like the leader.
Yeah.
So without the leader, Kepler had to establish, like...
What does Kepler want?
Exactly. Yeah. He says Kepler grew a lot of brain cells after. Kind of, yeah. I mean, he really did...
Because Kepler would just go along with Sagan. Mm-hmm. Like, Sagan be like, it's food time. And Kepler would be like, okay, it's food time.
Yeah.
But, like, that thought would never have occurred to Kepler before.
Yeah.
On his own.
It's a very interesting thing. It's not like Kepler wasn't Kepler before, but Kepler feels more Kepler now. And I think that's an interesting, like, prospect. So, good vibes all the same, but it'll be interesting to see how the other dog adjusts in the coming days and weeks and months. So, yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it. Kepler just sort of existed, and we loved him for that. But now he is a fully realized cat. It's true.
And he is
He is a handful.
He's a handful.
It's true. So...
Hi. Good morning.
I mean, yeah, there was some concerning stuff. And now we realize that he just didn't want to play leader.
Now
So,
you're leader.
Now I'm leader. We had 8 months from Rabbit. 102099. Rabbit, thank you. So, we were talking about Tuesday. So Tuesday, disc only occurred. Sap was on. Haven't had a chance to listen to it. Hopefully I'll get a chance to in the near future. And then while that was happening, I watched my grandson play the Earthbound. He did a good job. That was Tuesday. So it was a good Tuesday. Haley also brought coloring pages.
Yeah, and they brought pizza and salad. And
Yeah. Thanks again to Alex and Haley for bringing some food over.
I had messaged Alex because he was dealing with the food, and I was like, maybe pick something up from the store that's not full of grease after Golden Corral. I only had one slice of pizza.
Haley, I let you color while I was busy drawing Jennifer and Kyle. We already talked about Jennifer and Kyle. If that's new information...
That's a Tuesday breakfast stream.
You gotta watch Tuesday breakfast stream. I'm not going to tell you about the portrait in the Golden Corral of the couple that had bedroom eyes. Like, I just can't... I can't do that right now. You're gonna have to watch the other stream. So that was Tuesday. And then...
Wednesday,
I got a haircut. Mm-hmm. But more importantly...
Brandon got a haircut. No, I streamed.
More important than my haircut is Brandon's haircut. It's Mal's stream. Mal did her first stream inside of the studio.
Yeah.
And that was exciting. So, Mr. Richard Dude says, I'm confused. Was there actually a couple doing that?
There was a photo of one.
There was. You need... If anyone didn't see Tuesday's VOD, you really need to watch it. I don't think I have it out yet because it ran into a content ID issue because we choose to put Jules' music in here. I have permission from Jules to use music, but like it does flag, and then I have to be like, hey, I can do this. So there's a lot of times where some like VODs are actually delayed, not because they're not processed, but because I'm dealing with a content claim.
Haley's getting haircut today.
Everybody getting a haircut.
I am on Friday.
Is this
sort of
cleared? I can't
I'm getting
tell.
my eyebrows done on Friday.
Mobile doesn't tell me. Anyway, at some point the VOD from Tuesday will be out, and it's absolutely worth watching, so please check it out.
Now Alex needs one.
Alex does need one.
Alex does need one.
He finally shaved the parts of the face. Now he needs the head.
He's been rocking these long sideburns. I like that.
Yeah, they're growing on me. No pun intended.
Well, they're very 90s, and 90s are in right now, so it's great. It
The-
looks good on him.
The mutton chops were not
Yeah.
growing on me, but the sideburns I think I can get behind. So it's interesting to see him without a beard, because in my head there's very much college Alex and then post-college Alex, and post-college Alex is like beard Alex. That's in my head, but like Alex is Alex.
Yeah.
It's Alex is not defined by facial hair, right? So if there's going to be less, like I can just adjust to it. It's fine. Seb says, the fact that the 90s are now retro and vintage to the youth of today makes me want to disintegrate into dust.
I'm gonna go back to wearing like 3-layer clothes, which is what I wore. Like in the early 2000s, where I had like a long sleeve, a mid sleeve, and then a short sleeve. God, that was such a good look.
I mean, if I wait just a little bit longer,
You don't have to change your wardrobe.
yeah,
Cargo shorts are gonna be back.
man, where were we? I got calling out Dan.
It was the day we were celebrating day 5000.
We were
Or no, were we watching your old Earthbound videos right before Josh started streaming? Right?
We were watching something else because
don't
it was when we were watching the old videos. We were watching the day that I went under anesthesia.
Yes, that was it.
We were watching the day, calling out Dan. I also heard that Dan did an impression of me
on disc only. Yeah,
so
you
I
haven't
get to,
heard it yet.
I haven't heard it, but I'm gonna call him and I'm gonna do him a raw. All right. So on the other day, we were watching old vlogs. I think it was for day 5000.
It was.
And we had been watching the under anesthesia vlog, and in that video, I'm in the hospital bed. I'm a little loopy. Dan comes in. Dan is on our couch watching this, and he goes, "Oh my God, I'm wearing cargo shorts. Ugh, why did I think that was a good idea?" I am sitting next to Dan, and I said, "Dan, I am actively wearing cargo shorts." And he goes, "Oh." And I'm like, I was like, do my cargo shorts bother everybody? Am I so without style? Is everyone super concerned? I thought you did it ironically. You know what? Here's my thing.
You just put clothes on.
That is really it. But also, like, I have an entire closet of clothing from like 2005.
And it still fits
And
you.
it still fits. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get rid of it. I think it works. You proudly have no style. I have become more aware of it.
You have.
Like in high
The
school.
orange shorts.
In high school,
NDL.
Oh, those
the
orange
throwback.
In high school, there was like no sense of style. Now I definitely am aware of it. I'm like, there are times where I'm going to put on clothes and I'm like, maybe not this with that. So I am like aware of it. But like to change out someone's wardrobe, that's like a lot of effort and time and money. And I'm like, I don't mind.
I want to do that. So soon we can do it together.
I don't mind the idea of like getting like a new shirt or new pants or like I don't mind that. But Sab says I'm literally changing out my wardrobe after 10 years. Yeah, my wardrobe's going to be 20 years old in the next like 2 years. It doesn't mean I haven't gotten stuff.
I need to get some new things.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that I haven't gotten some new things over the years.
Yeah.
But like, do I have pants and shirts in my closet that are almost 20 years old? Like, yes.
I mean, I need to go through some things because like I find like post-surgery, like blue jeans are so uncomfortable around my waist. So like I don't really wear that anymore.
Ooh. I've went through different phases too, right? Because in high school,
you wore a lot of polos in high school.
I wore polos, and then at
that was partially you had a dress code.
I wore polos, and then at some point I wore graphic tees, and then for a long time I wore button-ups.
Like this.
I did. That was actually most of what I wore, and then at some point I kind of switched back to graphic tees. I can't tell you the amount of times
graphic tees are kind of your summer wardrobe, and then button-ups are kind of your winter wardrobe.
Yeah,
because they're mostly long-sleeved.
I would say that's true. I can't tell you the amount of times I've been tagged in that meme. The meme of like, high school boys that wore this were never mean to me, and it's a picture of the green Zelda t-shirt with cargo pants. I've been tagged in that 100 times. They're like, I thought of you. And I'm like, I appreciate it. Like it's a nice gesture, right? Because it's a positive thing, but also I'm like, yeah, you were very mean to us in school.
Everyone loved you in school.
It's true, but also I was friends with everybody. Yeah. It's easy to be liked if you just are friendly with everyone. Anyway, where were we?
The girls wanted you to braid their hair.
And I wasn't very good at it.
No, you weren't.
I wasn't very good at it. We had 300 Bits Maldo says, please don't do Dan raw. Make sure all your Dans are fully cooked before consumption. It's good. Food safety is important. That's right.
I was just talking about food safety. I can't remember with who, but I was saying that like I can trust you to cook and know food safety. And it's something I really appreciate.
You're welcome.
Like, you know about, like, temping food and, like, sanitizing.
Yes. Everyone has different levels of, I don't know, sanitation or whatever when in the kitchen. But I'd like to feel like mine's high. Although, in fairness, I married Mallory, whose level of, like, food safety is very high, and that's because you had two.
My dad is a father.
Yeah.
Who was very like food safety.
Yeah, really stressed that. So like, yeah, worked out.
We didn't really deal with a whole lot of food safety at Carrabba's. Someone said I bet it's from working at Carrabba's. Like we had to know things like hand washing, of course, but like knowing the temp for like beef and pork and chicken and fish is not really something we did at Carrabba's. Mm-hmm. But like that was something I had to know at Culver's. Like one of the daily things was to temp everything at Culver's, and that was something that I frequently had to do.
Yeah. We just got a new thermometer to make it even easier.
I know, it's such a great thermometer.
It's a good thermometer. You get old and you get excited about that.
We also have a laser thermometer, but we use that normally for seeing how hot pans are in like the pizza steel.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because you can't temp the center of like a
you don't know if the inside of a thing is done. So
Brandon shows up right as we're talking about his favorite item in my house, the thermometer.
It's a good thermometer. It's a good thermometer. We got 300 bits from Little Nintendo Girl. It says, my 14-year-old dog has passed away last night, and it was also his birthday. I'm still trying to comprehend the situation right now. Good vibes for everyone in a similar situation. Good vibes.
Good vibes.
It's a rough morning for that. There's multiple folks that have lost pets. My heart goes out to all of you. It's a difficult situation. It absolutely is. My advice has always been to, allow yourself to grieve and allow yourself to understand that it's totally okay to feel sad. And that embracing that feeling is totally all right. Things will get better in time.
Yeah.
It's hard to think about that in the moment because I've been there. It will get better in time, but in the meantime, just allow yourself to grieve. It's totally all right. And good vibes to you. I feel bad that so many folks have had to deal with these things lately. They're rough. They're rough life events. They absolutely are. We got 300 bits from Shia. Says, I feel called out because I like cargo shorts. Granted, I'm not the most stylish fellow, but I see nothing wrong with them for a casual summer day. There's nothing wrong with anything, right? Like, I don't know how does something go out of style? It just like stops being used, and then if it
has like a vibe of being like old. There's a difference between that and like vintage.
There's an ebb and flow to fashion in a way that a subset of the population, myself included, don't keep up with. So if you wear something that is no longer being regularly worn, but also is not yet, I guess, vintage, then you're in this weird middle area. That's when I guess people are like, oh, well, very few people wear that, so it looks odd. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Love you, Haley. Bye. We'll talk later.
Also, Haley said, love you, Mao.
Yeah, she does. I love her too.
Can't believe this.
Kipler can't believe it either.
We got. I keep up with fashion because I'm cool. You're cool. We get 300 bits from Omega the Kid. He says, I was never cool enough to be popular, but I wasn't uncool enough to be bullied. Not to my face, at least. I don't know. I was a theater kid. It probably happened. I mean, I was bullied. I got bullied in high school. But I was also popular. So these ideas can coexist.
You're really bullied.
Yeah, I'm still bullied. Actively bullied. Thanks, Haley. Love you too. Yeah, I guess some things just didn't. You still get bullied. You just get paid for it now. If you have a Twitch audience, then you're getting bullied. It's happening in some capacity. Yeah, I had a good relationship with like my fellow classmates and stuff for the most part, but there was always
one or two.
Yeah, there was a few people that it's like a personality thing, right? For some people that they're like, I need to be mean because I have some level of personal deep insecurity about a thing and I need to express that in violence or whatever. But it wasn't super bad. There's folks that got it way worse than me, so it was all right. It was okay.
I mostly just kind of snuck my way through school and like either like had like just a couple friends or got ignored. Just kind of mousing my way through school.
I think that there's a lot of people that can relate to that exact idea of like, just that's how I approached college. Mm-hmm. Like, there's not a single person in college that remembers who I am. I don't have a single professor who would be able to say my name. Like, not a single person. That's how I approached college. I was like, I'm just here to like do this thing and leave. And that was fine. It was totally fine. It was a very different experience than what I had in high school.
Yeah.
But college was a million times better because the thing that I wanted was a relationship with like my friends and my roommates. And I had that. That's the thing that I wanted. So I got really, really close to like Alex, Stan, and Taylor, and Nick. And I didn't give a crap about about the professors. Like, whatever. Hopefully the roommates remember you. There's this one guy named Alex. I think he remembers me. I hope he does. I'm not entirely sure. I really hope that he'd be able to say my name if we saw each other again. He knew it on Tuesday, so I hope he know. I hope he'll know it next time I see him too. Hopefully. Oh, I made an impression. I absolutely made an impression. Alex only remembers you on Tuesdays.
Well, I guess he won't remember you on Sunday.
That's fine. It's totally fine. I think of everyone in college, I left the biggest impression on Alex. He certainly left the biggest impression on me. And that's just because we spent
a lot of time together, roommates all 4 years.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've said Alex is my best friend before, but it's also just because we've spent so much time together.
I mean, immediately, you were like his brother.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people, you have family that is a little rough.
Yeah, I have an Alex-shaped dent in my heart. It was, within the first few days, he was punching me. And I was like, oh. It's like, I don't do that. It took him a while to, like, realize that. Because when you grow up with a brother, presumably you just hit each other. That's like a part of having a sibling, right? If you have a sibling, you just attack each other. And I'm like, I did not have a sibling. I like quietly went to my room and played Nintendo on my 13-inch CRT. So it's a very...
Or Hungry Hungry Hippos alone.
That happened a lot less than you think. So, it's sometimes hard to kind of understand where someone with siblings is coming from when they punch you. It's like really out of love. It's kind of like... It's like one of the highest marks you can receive. Like, Alex felt comfortable enough with me to hit me. And that's actually very sweet. I did ask him to stop.
And he stopped.
Yeah, it got better. It was kind of a decline. For the longest time, he would do it, and then he would feel bad. Because, like, it was like just a response in his brain of, like, I like this guy. Punch!
Mr. Deathkill says, and then Mouse family came along and pinched you. Oh, we don't pinch. We,
slap.
We do this.
Yeah. Oh, Mark has slapped the crap out of me before. And, like, I can see it in his eyes. There's, like, this love. This, like, I like this guy. Bam! And, like, he'll give it to me, and I'm like...
It's a backhand.
Yeah, it's just a backhand.
If you get the fingernail, like just the perfect snap, that's...
Yeah, it's very much a thing where, my family did not do that. That's a very different thing. So, trying...
Cases, who did the pinching? My mom, probably.
Yeah. What is it with people showing affection through violence? It's not my favorite way to show affection.
Brandon says, what did you do? Hug each other? Squares.
Yeah, I can't.
My dad's family has always been, like, roughhousing, though. Like,
I know. I did not
like,
come.
all the uncles?
I did not come from a roughhousing family. That is not a thing that occurred. And in fact, I came from a very, like, affectionate family, where we spent a lot of time, like, talking about our feelings. I was taught that it was okay to cry from a young age. We hugged. Like, we showed each other deep affection. And that is something that I prefer. So, it took a while to recognize that, you know, the things that are occurring, like, they are affection. It's very different than what I had growing up, but it was, it counted as affection.
Yeah.
In Alex's case, like, it very much was like, I feel close enough to this person, like, a brother, and I'm going to hit him. And then eventually it became like, it was very, like, subconscious, like, he would do it, and then he'd be like, okay, now hit me.
I'm sorry, hit me.
And I would go, no. And I never hit him back. And eventually it just kind of stopped. And he learned that there were other ways to, like, show affection. I don't know that we spent a whole lot of time in college, like, hugging. But probably a few times. We hug more now. Now I try to normalize the idea of, like hugs and
Yeah,
physical...
we hug all of our friends goodbye.
Yeah, like I think that that's a nice thing, just to let people know that they're cared for. Anyway, where was I? Omega the Kid gifted a sub to Cheesehammer. Appreciate it. We got 300 bits of shy. Says, I was bullied in middle school until one day it was bad and I blew up at him in gym class. Finally scared him away. Some people tried to bully me in high school, but by that point I was just like, I've done this song and dance before, and nipped it in the bud real quick. I mean, I also had an experience with a bully that stopped the bullying. Have I told that story?
I think you have.
Almost certainly I've told that story. Some people get a kick out of that story. Some people do not like that story. But it is a thing that happened. I can give the quick version. I have time. I was bullied in high school by a person who, what is it called? Not an exchange student. Someone who transfer student. Transfer student? Someone who,
yeah, they transferred to your school.
Someone who
That
transferred
works.
to the school.
Yeah.
They were a trouble student in another school, and they had to leave that school, so they came to our school. So that kind of gives you...
They did not choose to leave their old school.
They did not choose to leave. They were asked to leave. So that kind of gives you, like, a little background about this person already. Like, okay, so there's, like, things going on. They were a little problematic, to say that, like they caused problems on purpose for people, and I was always like a kind of like a mild-mannered, meek person, so I was a pretty easy target because I was not gonna, like, deal with it. And there's a lot of terrible things that happened. Like my food had been stolen, and there was one time where some of my stuff was taken, and I don't know why he had shampoo, but he, like, sprayed shampoo, like liquid shampoo, in, like, all of my stuff, and then some of it was ruined and some of it had to be cleaned. So it was like, this was something that, like, kept going, and there were some bad things that had occurred. So one day, I was in the bathroom. I was in the stall because I've always had stomach issues. So I was going to the bathroom, and he walked up to the urinal next to me, and he decided to pee on my shoes. Because, like, he could see my feet, and he was like, ah. And, like, I just had enough, man. I just had enough. And he walked up to the stall door. So he was standing at the stall door, and I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. So I wiped my butt, and then I wiped it on his leg. He was wearing jeans, and I just smeared crap right on his pants. And he had been standing outside the door. Like, I don't know if I've ever told this story. I'm starting to wonder if I have, because everyone seems like this is new.
He was waiting for you to come out.
So he was like waiting for me to come out, and like it was never. I don't think he was ever like physically like maybe like an occasional whatever, but not like beating me up or anything. That never happened. But just like mental trauma and like dealing with all this stuff. So I wiped crap on his leg, and he just kind of stopped and he's like, "Hey, did you just wipe crap on my leg?" Like the tone immediately stopped, and I was like, "Yeah." And I finished, and I came outside of the stall and was washing my hands, and he was like, "Bro, did you just wipe crap? You can't do that. Like, there's like a rule. Like, you can do all these things to me, but you can't do the crap."
I mean, he did pee on your shoe.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do that. And I was like, I did. I just straight to, I did do that. That's a thing that I did. And he's like, you want to go to the office? And I was like, yes. I was like, let's go right now. And he just stared at me, and then he started to laugh. He's like, oh my God. He started to laugh, and he never did anything to me ever again. That was it. That's all it took. Like, once he understood that, like, yeah, of course I would go to the office. Of course. There's a laundry list of things that I would have to talk about. Also, it would not have been my first time in the office. They know me there. They're probably expecting me anyway. So like, yeah, let's go.
That school had it out for you.
They did, yeah, they did. So it was fun. I hate that experience for you, but you handled it in the best way possible. I am, like, I'm not proud of the fact that I rubbed poop on someone, right? Like, and I've never done that since. But in the moment, I was like, this seems like the best way to handle this situation. Yeah. Man, I guess that's the first time I've ever told that story. That's a story that I have told to people a long time, right? But maybe that's the only time I've told this. It's a good story. It's a good story. I don't think that violence is the answer. I think that if you can be able to solve things through talking about them, I think that's always worthwhile. But if you can't, maybe there's another way. Maybe. Anyway, we got, good job pooping. 3. Chaz, where's our alert? This is the time. This is the time. The people want the alert. This is when we needed it most. Everyone just holding out hope. Can you imagine? This is when we'd hear that alert like 10 times. We got 300 bits from Maggie the Kid. He says, I personally have tickle-related trauma. My dad and my grandmother both have ensured I never feel safe leaving my torso exposed.
I had friends that, like, that was their way of showing affection, was, like, tickling, or, like, they would poke you.
I don't mind people showing affection that way, as long as when I'm like, I'm done, that it stops. There are some people that, like, they don't understand. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's just, like, their personal goal to be like, I want to see this person pee. Like, I don't know if that's what's going on, but, like, I do not want to pee my pants, like, as a general concept. If you tickle me to a certain point...
But Steven, it's okay.
It's okay if you pee your pants or you poop your pants sometimes.
Have we ever
don't
told
feel
that
bad.
Story?
I don't know, Mal. We don't have time. I think we have. Hey, Josh. I think we have. I can't remember all the stories. Don't worry, Steven. I never want to see you pee. What if I really have to pee? Is this another story we haven't told? I think we've told it. I think so. All right. Let me tell you this story too. It's story time then. 30 months from Parv Gang. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, real quick. I think I've told this, but in case I haven't, this is a fun story. Back in October of last year, Hal was visiting Josh, and we spent the few weeks he was here doing various things. But on the final night he was here, I learned that he had never been to a Waffle House, and that going to Waffle House is very important. He absolutely needs to go to Waffle House and experience that.
After midnight.
Because that's part of America.
The Southeast.
It's part of America. It's American culture, Southeastern culture. So he's like, all right, cheerio, whatever. Whatever Hal says. And then we get in the car. I love Hal. We get in the car. We get in the car, and we go to Waffle House 1, and there's only one employee working, and we walk up to the door, and the lady locks it and hides behind the counter, and we're like, okay, so you don't want to work, and that's totally fine. It's like 3 a.m. I don't blame you. We go to the second Waffle House, and there's a very obvious drug deal going down in the parking lot. We're like, maybe not this one. So then we find a third Waffle House, and once we get to the third Waffle House, we go in, and I had been telling Hal about the fact that there were these Waffle House songs. There was an entire album, multiple albums worth of songs. And when we got into the Waffle House, I was like, I'm not going to play any on the jukebox because it's 3 a.m.
There's no music playing.
There's no music playing. And I was like, I think that, for one, the Waffle House employees are strapped and they will kill us. So, like, we'll just leave it at that. But when we got in the car afterwards, I was like, I do want you to hear the song. Because, one of the tunes that we have as part of Breakfast Stream is like Raisins in My Toast. So I pulled up on Spotify. I was like, hey, play Raisins in My Toast. So it plays it. And we hear the Raisins in My Toast song. And everyone is enjoying it. And Hal's like, oh, this is so funny. When it ends, it goes into another song. And the song starts... It's okay if you pee your pants or you poop your pants sometimes. Don't feel bad about it. It happens to everybody. And like...
It's 3 a.m.
It's 3 a.m. We are traveling the roads in Raleigh. It is misty out. There is not a car on the highway. Yeah. I want to set the ambience perfectly because, like, we're alone and this is happening. And Hal in the back seat goes... Is this another Waffle House song? And I'm like, no, Hal. No, it's not. And I don't know what this is. It's me, Mal, Hal, and Josh.
We
and
were
all of a sudden,
North Carolina.
All of a sudden, we just like bust out laughing. We all immediately, we have no idea what's going on. We are laughing so hard we're crying, and the song just keeps going. It was wild. It was so wild. That song, by the way, it's on, you can listen to it. I think it's called It's Okay If You Pee Your Pants or Poop Your Pants Sometimes. And I don't remember who the artist is, but
I can't remember.
It's such a good song.
Whenever we have like a group playlist going at a party, someone will play it.
It's a very funny song. I actually really I like it a lot. But that was probably my most cherished experience from when Hal was here, because it was very much like a like the four of us experienced that, and we're hearing this song play for the first time in our lives, and we're driving on a road, and like everything about it felt otherworldly. It was bizarre, and I just loved it.
We were joking that we would never find that song like in the next few days. We'd be like, where is it? What was that we heard? It would just be
yeah.
Paparazzi
and the Photogs. Yes. And that artist also has a bunch of other songs, like a wild amount of songs. I don't know how many people are familiar with Wesley Willis, but it feels almost like a Wesley Willis situation where like they just pick like a subject and write a song real quick about it. There's like tons of songs. Feels similar to that. Anyway, there's that story. Double story time this morning. Double story time. Anyway.
Chazzes.
Who's ready to be done with the stream today? Anyway, where was I? We had a subscription from Sir Shady. Welcome. 30 Bits from Chai, it says, that sounds like a great story. In my case, I actually got in trouble because of how I blew up. I ended up with an in-school suspension, and I don't know if the kid was ever punished. I'm sorry. I also once had... I had out-of-school suspension. After-school suspension.
After is still in.
Oh, is it?
Well, sometimes.
It was after school hours. I had to stay late.
Yeah.
And I had to do yard work.
Out-of-school suspension is
That's the other thing that's different. I had to do yard work.
I know. Out-of-school suspension is when they're like, you go home for X many days, do not come to school.
Yeah, okay. I didn't have that. Yeah, I had yard work.
You had in school and probably after school.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to do manual labor. Actually, the thing that's so screwed up about that story is that... I'm not going to bother telling that entire story today, but the thing that's so screwed up about that story is that it was me and a few other people who got in trouble for a thing, and we protested it. We're like, we didn't do anything wrong. And they're like, we have decided that you have done something wrong, and we would like you to stay after school and do all this manual labor that we need done. So we did it. And then when it was done, the minute it was done, the principal came to us and said, hey, actually,
there was a miscommunication.
Like, we actually recognize that you guys were right and you didn't do anything wrong. And I was like, you go to hell. Because that was awful.
Hi, Kiki.
Yeah. Anyway, life gets better when you're an adult because you can do stuff on your own. And you got the people that are in power above you when you are in high school, and they tell you to do things, and they don't make any sense, and you have a rebuttal, but they don't believe you because you're just a kid, but they were wrong, and then later you feel vindicated. Anyway. Where was I? 300 Bits from Arpiga, who says, my childhood taught me to never use the restroom on the way out of a restaurant. The rest of my family would rush outside and move the car to make me think they left. It happened multiple times. Are you okay? Are you alright? You okay? That's a couch. I got this. Don't make me click it. Like hopefully that's viewed as, you viewed that as like, it's just a funny. Sometimes those things, like, there are things that sometimes families do with the hope of, like, this will be funny, and then later it's like, now I need therapy. So hopefully it was okay. Oh, hi, bud. We're actually getting ready to wrap up, but you can stay here while we do.
No headbutt for you.
No
headbutt for me? Headbutt
Yes.
for me. Thank you.
Then, this is funny. Later, this is trauma. Arpiga says, I've talked about it in therapy. Okay. Yeah, that was my first thought when I heard that. I was like, something that happened multiple times is a joke. I'm like, oh no. That seems like that could be bad. Let's talk about what's happening today. So,
Today's Thursday.
it is Thursday. Mm-hmm. It is Thursday, in fact. There's nothing happening tonight because this week has been so busy. Mm-hmm. I know there were some folks that were like, will you do a solo stream this week? I couldn't make it happen this week. Tonight's when we're actually going to celebrate our anniversary. Mm-hmm. So we have plans this evening, and I'm excited about that. I'm super excited. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
12 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's like more than 10.
Objectively, yes.
I know about numbers. So we're excited to do that. Otherwise, tomorrow night, we will be back for Zelda. Where were we? I don't know. I don't remember. Next week is a possibility for Hades. I would like that. Hot no. Oh, thank you, Josh. I love you too. Our relationship is in 5th grade. We were in Hot No? Yeah, we were finishing up Hot No. We were still exploring a little bit. So we'll probably wrap Hot No up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then otherwise, if I can, I'll tell you what's coming out on Saturday on the channel. I don't know if... Dan must have it scheduled. Dan's ahead. Let me tell you, I don't actually know.
Hi, buddy. What's going on?
It's... Ooh! Ooh, it's Halo!
Wow.
Oh, I'm so excited. The title of the video is the closest game of Halo I've ever played, and that is true. Josh was there and can vouch for it. We put, it's 2 matches of Halo in this first video, and the first one, like, we're just getting our bearings, and we're also trying to figure out team adjustments. And then for the second match, we adjusted the teams, and oh my god, we did a good adjustment. It was the closest match of Halo I've ever played in my life. So, be excited. Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite. There were 8 of us. Me, Alex, Haley, Josh, Patty, Juliet, Dan...
Thomas? No? Paul? Hal.
Hal! Hal. Spent all this stream talking about Hal, and then I was like, who's the 8th? Hal. Hal. Yeah, it's a really good video. And we haven't done a video like that for Steven and Friends in a long time, so you should check it out. Hello. And that's it. I don't think we have any other things to announce. Thank y'all for being here this morning. And again, if you haven't seen Tuesday's breakfast stream, it's a hoot. It's a real hoot. It's a good one. Check it out when you can. All right. Thanks for being here. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern for The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.